I need to make one distinction clear right away. In this video, I'm talking about presumptive Agent Orange exposure. I'm not talking about presumptive conditions based on Agent Orange exposure. There is a difference. The presumptive conditions are covered in another video. This exposure presumption is important in its own right, because even if you don't have one of the presumptive Agent Orange disabilities, just having that presumed exposure can open up VA healthcare, for example. Before I get into the new changes in the PACT Act that expands who is presumptively exposed to Agent Orange, I should mention that originally this only applied to veterans who served in Vietnam from January 9th, I'm going to say January 1st, from January 9th, 1962 through May 7th of 1975. Now, from there, our Vietnam veteran brothers and sisters have carried on a difficult fight to try and force the VA to acknowledge that the groups of veterans actually exposed to Agent Orange is much larger than that. So I'm not going to get into the history of that. But what I am going to get into is how the PACT Act acknowledges that much broader exposure and makes it federal law. So to cut right to it, under the PACT Act, veterans are presumed to have been exposed to Agent Orange if they performed military, naval, air, or even space service. Yeah, space service is listed in there. I'm not sure how that applies to Vietnam, but we'll set that aside. Anyway, veterans who performed that service in the following places qualify for this presumptive exposure to Agent Orange. Those places are the Republic of Vietnam during the period beginning January 9th, 1962 and ending May 7th, 1975. So that part didn't change. Next up is Thailand at any United States or Royal Thai base during the period beginning January 9th, 1962 and ending on June 30th, 1976. And here's the kicker for the Thailand veterans, that this presumption is without regard to where on the base the veteran was located or what military job specialty the veteran performed. So to get into the history a little bit, our Thai veterans had to prove that they had some job on one of those bases that had them, walking the perimeter on a regular basis where Agent Orange was sprayed. So the PACT Act removes that requirement. Next up is Laos during the period beginning December 1st, 1965 and ending September 30th, 1969. Next is Cambodia at a couple of places I'm not going to try to pronounce, but I'll put them on the screen. And that's during a period beginning April 16th, 1969 and ending April 30th, 1969. Next is Guam or American Samoa, or in the territorial waters thereof, during a period beginning on January 9th, 1962, and ending on July 31st of 1980. Finally, we have the Johnston Atoll, or on a ship that called at the Johnston Atoll, during the period beginning January 1st, 1972, and ending on September 30th, 1977. And I should say that these changes in the PACT Act don't take away anything that veterans have already fought for and won. For example, the most recent victory our Blue Water Navy veteran brothers and sisters won. All that is still on the table. But these changes will make it a lot easier for a lot of other veterans who have been trying for years to convince the VA that they were exposed to Agent Orange and have just been running up against a wall. So if you're one of those veterans, you served in one of those places at one of those times, and you've been repeatedly denied by the VA, start to get your files in order. And as soon as the PACT Act becomes law, file your claim again. I hope you found this video helpful. I'm Al Walsh, a veteran who likes to help other veterans. Thanks for watching.